I'm J.E. Skeets, alongside me as always, Tass Mellis. We got the Aussie Lee Ellis back, and over yonder, that's the bearded one, that's Trey Kirby.
Hey-o!
Hey, yo! Trey, what's up?
Well, I'm here at the internet looking for your best tweets at #TheStarters, and you might have been in bed when the NBA inducted their latest member to the Hair Hall of Fame, but last night, the Kings' Frank Mason was spotted on the bench rocking a straight-up mushroom cut, which got the internet going crazy with the Mario memes. An incredible look, which brings us to today's question. What is the funniest NBA haircut? There have been, oh, so many of them. Like, for instance, the time in 1998 when all the Pacers shaved their heads, so Rick Smits and Chris Mullin had to as well, or the time that Vladimir Radmanovich decided, hey, maybe I'll give braids a shot. Looked like he just got back from spring break, or maybe even it was my infamous season 1 hair beret. You guys let me move back to America and come on TV with this haircut? Might could bring it back this summer, but we want to hear from you. So let us know on Twitter, what is the funniest NBA haircut? Send us your best tweets to #TheStarters. We'll hear from you later.
The hair beret.
Nice breeze there, too. A beautiful screen grab.
All right, on tonight's show, we're going to discuss the crazy ending to the Sixers-Bulls game last night. We got a brand new addition to the meme team. We got a very solid play. We even got a wedgie. But let's start with a little true or false. It's LeBron passing MJ. It's the milestone edition. Let's do it, TK.
Well, it's official. LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan. At least at scoring, as LeBron's second quarter and one moved him past MJ and into fourth on the all-time scoring list. He got some hugs, hit his free throw, then got emotional on the bench during a video tribute before playing the rest of the game. True or false, LeBron passing MJ was anticlimactic.
True.
Yeah, it
100% true, right?
It was, but what did you want? Confetti? This team is not going anywhere.
No, that
so
was the
it's
problem.
It's a dire situation.
Yeah,
there.
if the Lakers were 45-30 right now and they'd play well in the first quarter, even maybe last night, they were getting punked. They were getting booed at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah.
Because they were once
Look at
again
that
getting
score.
killed. And, he hasn't been there long, so he has, no real history with Lakers fans. I get all that, but it was a dud. I mean, it was like he was a visiting player, honestly.
I agree. Even though you're down 18 points, I do think there should have been a longer standing ovation. It just should have been a longer cheering section for this accomplishment.
Yeah.
But it's an arbitrary accomplishment, really, because he's got so long still left to play in the game. If this was his last season...
Yeah, there's some truth to that.
When he had the injury earlier in the season, if it was like, well, maybe he won't come back and get it, but he does get past there. And we just know that he's still got, maybe 3, 4, even 5 seasons left to go. So this one is actually going to be in the rearview mirror pretty quickly. And it's also...
Agreed, but arbitrary, it is the best basketball player in the world that he passed.
Yeah.
Everybody else on that list is definitely arbitrary.
Yeah, but it's not like a
is
milestone where it was like hitting 30,000 points, where it's actually that number. This is like you just overtook someone while you're on your way going forward. I mean, this wasn't in doubt, really. I mean, he's going to get
absolutely
there.
not.
So, to me, I mean, but also, you mentioned he's playing for the Lakers. He's been there half a season.
It's not going well.
It's not going well at all.
Right.
And,
It's a reason to cheer for these fans, though. That's why I thought maybe we'd get more than a 30-second standing ovation.
Yeah, I mean, it's not Kobe, of course, for them.
Well, that's the funny part. Compare it to Kobe when he passed Michael Jordan. He was on the road back in 2014. And they stopped the game. And this is the other thing, like Luke Walton said, the NBA said, we're not stopping play here. You can do the video tribute when we have a stoppage, and that's what happened last night. But in December of 2014, when Kobe did it at the free throw line in Minnesota, I mean, it was a big, big deal.
Yeah.
A very big deal. The Lakers weren't good that year either. I know, again, it's on the road, but they finished like 27-55 that year. So it is funny to sort of compare it to what LeBron got last night, again, at home in the Staples Center.
What happens when LeBron passes Kobe next season, if it happens in L.A.? Are Lakers fans going to boo?
I think they won't boo, but it will depend on how successful the Lakers team is. I think to some extent, if they're again like at this point like a 30-win team, then it'll be a dud again. It won't be all that much fun. But if they're they're rolling, they get another piece, and the Lakers are suddenly back to being good, then it's a different story. I think it'll be made a bigger deal.
Yeah, but I guess with LeBron, he's top 10 now in scoring and assists, which no one else has done, which is incredible. And, again, don't want to harp on it, but he's going to just keep cashing in on these records now because he's still relatively young and he's got 3 years left on this contract. It's just how long he really wants to play and which records he wants to go after. But I think if this was even in Cleveland as a Laker, it probably would have been different. But we look at what all he did in Cleveland and Miami, and those are his real years of success. And the one in Los Angeles has been a bit of a dud overall. So this one's an earring on a pig.
Oh, wow, there it is. Shout out to Adam Silver. All right, next one here, Trey.
All right, LeBron is 4th all-time in scoring. Ahead of him are 3 Laker legends: Kobe Bryant, Karl Malone, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Yeah, Karl Malone played for the Lakers for 1 season there. LeBron should pass Kobe next year, but Jabbar is 6,076 points ahead of LeBron, so it'll be a few seasons before he's knocking on Kareem's door. True or false? LeBron will catch Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
True.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Really?
He gets him. Because you know what?
You would bet on that?
Yes, I would.
I'll take that bet.
Okay,
'cause
let's
I don't
bet.
think so, yeah.
What do you want to
Let's
bet?
take it with BR betting.
The thing is, LeBron wants this record. He wants to be the scoring title.
I 100% disagree with that.
He does.
Why? When has he
Because-
ever come out and said that? He's always said, I don't want to be known as a scorer.
No, but
this doesn't
he
matter.
wants these records.
The one he was chasing, the one said that you said it wasn't a big deal just a second ago, was Michael Jordan.
Yeah, but now he's got.
That's who he's chasing.
got
Never
bigger
heard
fish
talk
to
about
fry
Kareem.
now. No, but he wants to be known as the all-time leading scorer. He wants that
When
record.
has he ever said this?
You just
Honestly,
know that he does.
I
That's
disagree
what's
with that.
important to
I
it.
disagree with
Does it
that.
matter if he hasn't ever said it that
Yeah.
he wants it?
No, I just don't believe he actually cares about that particular
What, you think
time.
he's this close and he's like, I don't really care
This
if I
close?
get it.
Hold on. He's still 6,000 points
It's like
away.
4 seasons away. If he wants it, he goes and gets it.
We're already finding out, like I told you, they're gonna, reports I should say, that he's gonna start shutting it down in
reporting
back-to-backs this season. Chris Haynes is saying that he's gonna start not playing in back-to-backs this season. His minutes are gonna be reduced, I think wisely, and that was something we were debating. Whether or not it'll happen, we'll see. But no, hold on. He's
averaged 2,000 over the last 3 years.
Yes.
So he would get there in 3 seasons if he played his full seasons at that same pace. Give him an extra year because of age
I
and
was gonna
injury.
say,
So
we
that's 4 years. That's 4 seasons. He'd be 38 when that season was over. It's not that old. It's not that far-fetched for a guy who knows how to manage his body better than anybody in the history of the game.
Okay,
I suppose he doesn't get injured.
I understand he's, Superman, but his scoring, efficiency and productivity is going to come back to earth a little bit.
yeah,
as he
that's
gets
why I
older
gave him-
and
Not for
older.
like 3 years. He's still going to be getting 25 a game next year and probably the year after that.
And don't forget, he wants to play with his son. His son's not going to make it to the NBA for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Even if he's scoring 1,000 points a year.
Yeah, that's fair. Brody Jr., eligible in 2023, and
Yeah.
I do believe he wants to be there for that. But I don't think I'm just saying, I don't think this is a lock by any means. This is very difficult to do as these guys get older and older and older.
Of course
to
it
still
is,
put up
yeah.
25 a game, even
but he's
20
putting
a
up
game,
27
and play
now.
75 games.
Yeah.
He's averaged 2,000 points the last 3 years. So, if you want to stretch it up, again, it's going to come down a little bit. For 4 seasons, he'd just have to average 1,500. That's putting it in neutral for LeBron James.
I
Yeah.
know, and you want to knock on wood that he doesn't keep suffering. He got his first real injury this year, took him out a quarter of the season, is all I'm saying. I mean, who's to say that doesn't continue? We saw it happen with Kobe, unfortunately. He hit a certain age, and then the injuries started piling up, and he just couldn't play 82 games, and he was still gunning for it. And there's a guy who wanted that real record.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, I also just don't think LeBron has that on his list of things to accomplish.
Why not?
Is to catch Kareem. I mean, no, he will look if he scores enough points, Lee.
Yeah.
Then yes, awesome, and we'll stop the
But
game
he's-
and we'll
he's
give him the
so
ball. I
close.
just don't think he's zeroing in on it.
I think he is. I think he wants to be known as the all-time leading scorer. I think he knows that is something that is achievable, that's within his reach. He's going to go and get it.
I
It's
agree.
possible,
I
yeah.
agree. Maybe he doesn't zero in on it, but he also hasn't zeroed in on scoring, period, throughout his career. It happens because he's that good.
Right. It's happened up to this point, yes.
Yeah.
Right. And I guess I'm doubting whether he can do it when he's 36, 37, 38.
Yeah, but that
Can he
again
play
is
those
when he
games?
only needs probably 18 a game at that point, which he'll be able to get that for one
It will
season.
be.
He'll be able to go and do it.
It will be fascinating
Yeah.
to see. Let's hear from you guys. Jump on Twitter, #TheStarters. Do you think LeBron is on pace here and could continue to catch Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? He's got to take down Kobe first. Well, that'll be happening next year.
Yeah.
Then he's got Karl, and then he's got Kareem. Jump on Twitter, #TheStarters. We got lots more still to talk about here on tonight's show when we return. Is Cousins hurting the Warriors' defense? Draymond Green says, "Relax, everybody." But we'll talk about that and more in the Up-Down Report. Down report, first one, the Golden State Warriors are in a bit of a funk. They've lost 4 of 7 games since the All-Star break, with their defense ranking 19th overall during that same period. But Draymond Green wants to make something very, very clear, guys. Don't blame DeMarcus Cousins for this, all right? Here's Draymond after Tuesday's 33-point loss to the Celtics. So many people are kind of looking at the starting lineup and saying, oh, DeMarcus is in there and the defense is worse. But our defense has been horse bleep no matter who's in there. All right, so Draymond saying it's on everybody. But there's no doubt some teams have been sort of zeroing in on Cousins when he's out there. So, up or down, is Cousins hurting the Warriors' defense? there any truth to that?
I would take defense out of the question and just say he hasn't been great for them so far, and a lot of it is to do with the fact that doesn't look 100% healthy to me. He's still figuring out their system, and on both ends he hasn't been great. Their offense is sort of clogged up a little bit, but defensively, teams know that he is a little bit of a weakness right now, and they're trying to target it. With the Warriors, we've said for the last couple of years, any little weakness they have, you've got to try to exploit it, and that is their weakness right now.
Yeah, and I think in the playoffs, DeMarcus's defense might be a little bit bigger of a deal because teams will just focus on him. We've seen it time and time again with big centers. They get taken out of the game just because of the pick and roll. But I think Draymond is right. Regular season is what's hurting this team's defense. Most of these guys that are on the Warriors have made 4 straight finals. They don't really care too much about the regular season. They have not played their hardest this entire year, and they're still going to finish first in the Western Conference.
That's exactly what's bothering them. It's a March malaise. They're kind of chilled out, just like the rest of us. We're looking forward to the playoffs, and the Warriors are very much looking forward to the playoffs. The numbers while he's on the court, the numbers when he's off the court defensively are exactly the same. Offensively, he's definitely not 100%. He's definitely struggling. But the thing is, you can yank him with this team. They have enough depth. They got Andrew Bogut. They've got enough guys to make it work no matter what happens.
All right, next one. The ending to last night's 76ers Bulls game, it was different. The game appeared to be over when the Sixers failed to convert on an inbounds alley-oop with less than a second left in the game. Players headed off, fans were leaving, but upon further review, officials determined that there was a clock error and the buzzer went off too soon. So come on back. They got the mulligan, and well, they played out the half second again. It was sort of pointless. Didn't even get a shut up. But up or down on that Sixers-Bulls do-over. The idea of them just doing it over again after that
Way down.
botch for a second. Way down.
Ups.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't get enough of that 0.5 seconds. Had to see it again. I don't know. Anytime there's something that ridiculous that we've never really seen in the NBA, I'm all for it. Basically, all the fans were gone because that video review to figure out if the clock started on time took forever.
Yeah.
So people are out there trying to beat the traffic, which is impossible around the United Center. But there was nobody in the crowd, and then the Sixers come back off and can't even get a shot off the second time.
Yeah.
Weird.
Jim Boylan said he's going to take those timekeepers out to dinner. So it wasn't like, oh, no, that's very unprofessional. It was instead like, great, do that again. We might win some more games.
They didn't even get a shot off the first time.
No.
That's
Yeah,
what I don't get.
that is the weird part.
Yeah, they didn't even touch the ball.
Right.
I mean, what's the point?
Well, they had to look at whether Robin Lopez, tipped
I know.
it, and that's why the clock
But
started.
he
you're
didn't
right.
tip it, and they still didn't come up with
No, I
any
know.
sort of clean shot. And poor Otto Porter, he was he was in the back, had to take an immediate drug test,
Right.
urinating in a cup, and they tried to get him out there. He said, "Excuse me, I'm busy."
You can't
I
stop
just-
midstream. You can't stop midstream. It stings a lot. So he couldn't come out for that one. It was weird though to see Zach LaVine, who had a great game, had the game winner to really set up the win for the Bulls. He was talking to Cassidy Hubbarth and as you do after a game, and then suddenly after the interview, we're like, okay, no, we might do this again. It was really, really unique.
I like the game winner that he drove there too and didn't
Yeah.
settle for the jump shot.
Great defense.
Yeah.
Run away from the guy with the ball
Yeah.
who's been killing us all night. Yeah, very strange. Very, very weird one. All right, final one, guys. The Sacramento Kings, they suffered another heartbreaking loss last night and another huge blow to their playoff chances. They fell 111-109 to the Celtics on a tough little Gordon Hayward fadeaway with 2 seconds remaining from Hayward. That got him the win. Kings have now lost 6 of their last 8, and they're 4 games out of the playoffs behind the Spurs and the Clippers. So, we're running out of time here, guys. Are you up or down on the Kings' playoff chances? They play so many entertaining games. Wow.
What a bummer that it's this far out still. They've got 12 road games left. They're not a good road team. They've got a 4 and a 5 game roadie coming up.
They play a lot of bad teams, though. A lot of bad teams.
But the Spurs and the Clippers, you're not going to catch them.
Yeah, they're so bad on the road that it doesn't matter that they're playing bad road teams. The dream is dead. It was a nice dream while it lasted.
Fun.
Yeah, 2-5 since the All-Star break. They probably wish there wouldn't have been an All-Star break so they could keep rolling without taking a little bit of time off. 13-15 since the year started, 2019. We say they play some bad teams. They also play 8 playoff teams in the final 18 games of the season. So there'll be a spoiler.
Look at you want to talk about good teams. Look at all these good teams on this list.
Look
that
how
lasted a
close
while.
these games are.
I know.
A couple of points here and there, and it's a whole different
Yeah,
story.
if they take half those games, then we're talking here, and then maybe we can talk ourselves into it. It is a shame though, because the Kings played very, very entertaining basketball in the last couple weeks, all season long. But these are, look, they're reps at the same time. They're not playoff games, but every one of these games have been very important, and you saw it at times last night. Some bad shots here and there, some bad turnovers down the stretch, but that's good for a young team to sort of get these reps in, right?
Yeah, they can be next year's Nets because the Nets lost a ton of close games last year and they made it in this season. I think.
Not a lot.
I think. I'm already locking it in.
Don't jinx that. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we've got a brand new edition of the meme team. It's a bloody good edition of the meme team. Don't go anywhere. The internet to bring you the meme team, our favorite weird and wacky moments from the NBA universe.
At number 5, Steven Adams had some nose issues. But you know this guy's tough. He's not coming out of a game.
Nose issues, nose tissues.
Yeah, just shove it in there. Kleenex is the official tissue of Steven Adams.
Would this make you more likely to buy a box of Kleenex? Probably.
He looks like Mr. Bean. I miss Mr. Bean. No. He looks like this guy.
Wow.
Yeah, an Adams lookalike, wearing a Timberwolves ski hat.
Interesting. At number 4, Knicks guard Mario Hezonja tweeting this week, the toughest player to guard is unfortunately not in the NBA right now. You have one guess. Okay, maybe he's talking about Melo, but the internet says no. Probably Boris Diaw. Could be. Air Bud. He could play all sports. He was like Deion Sanders. Trey Kirby. Oh yeah, check out the hops here.
Get up, big man!
Or was Hezonja talking about the Beebs?
Oh, yeah.
Cross them over, Beebs.
You try guarding this.
Oh my goodness, left hand coming.
Yes.
Yeah, off the window.
Look at the camera, look for the camera.
At number 3, LeBron was vibing to 2 Chainz's new album this week, and that's when people, they had some fun. Let's get LeBron vibing to
F is for
SpongeBob.
friends who do stuff together. U is for you and me.
Or the Shaq Wedgie song.
This fits too well.
Thanks. Happy birthday, Shaq. Belated.
Former teammates.
Another one of Shaq's former teammates, Dennis Scott's Grill Marks theme song on our show. Yeah.
See those grill marks?
Yeah.
LeBron James passed Michael Jordan on Wednesday night on the NBA's all-time scoring list. He is into 4th. Now, luckily, Lakers guard Alex Caruso was mic'd up for this very historic moment.
Hey, what's up, man? I'm Alex. Hey, what's up, man? I'm Alex.
Introducing himself. Well, after the game, Richard Jefferson and Channing Frye, ex-teammates, they congratulated LeBron.
He was a huge ball hog. He never passed the ball. Right on. Why don't you try and pass like the all-time assist leaders? Why don't you try and pass John Stockton instead of trying to pass
come up
Kareem?
off the rock,
How about
dribble
you
in
do that?
the air.
Can you do that? How about that?
It's ridiculous.
Please.
It took him long enough. What is this, 19
Yeah,
years?
it took him years.
What?
God, if I kept playing, I would have passed people too. God,
if I just shot 14, 15 times a game.
Wow, God.
Yeah, it was
What
crazy.
have you done?
Yeah. Anyways, congrats, man. You deserve it.
Couldn't
You
happen
suck.
to a better guy.
Yeah, you owe me about
Except for me or him.
At number 1, besides that amazing accomplishment, it was a tough week for the 4-time MVP. This walking the dog scenario did not end up well against the Nuggets.
It's a long walk.
Long turnover.
So Yahoo Sports had him walk the dog throughout the streets of LA.
He's got the time.
Yeah, he's just exploring.
Hang it out.
Doesn't know the city that well yet.
And the playoff chances became bleak, even though the king warned young Simba, don't go over there. But for the longest time, it seemed like the Lakers and their playoff chances seemed like they were in lockstep. Then they just went their separate ways.
Yeah, then he got injured.
LeBron, he tried to guide everyone back. What are you doing? Go back.
Go back to your playoffs.
And then this great meme, LeBron Googling how to make the Lakers an Eastern Conference team. Good
So
stuff.
much content from LeBron. Winning, losing,
Would they even be in the playoffs in the East right now?
probably be 3rd.
Oh, come on, Lee. They'd be right there at the end, 7th or 8th seed. All right, when we come back, Lee hits us with that very solid play. Yeah, there's that music. Tonight on TNT, doubleheader action. Pacers in Milwaukee to take on the Bucks, followed by the Thunders and Blazers. That's a huge one. One of those teams is going to drop to 5th after a loss tonight in the Western Conference. All right, we asked you.
Gonna be tough to beat this one. I
What's
think.
your funniest NBA haircut? Yes, Trey's hair beret from back in the day. Those are bars I just did right there. Hashtag the stars, though. What we got?
Got some good suggestions. A lot of people were asking for Andrew Bynum from his collection of various hairstyles. Also, Dwayne Shintz's mullet I believe he called it the lobster, if I'm not mistaken. How about this? Jeremy Lin hair from the post-Linsanity days, if I'm not mistaken. There's only one answer, says Tim Vesco. Chris Kaman looking like a crazy guy. And there's this classic picture of Steve Nash and Dirk Nowitzki from their time with their Mavericks, and you knew it was coming up, Lee. The illustrated Lee haircut.
Great.
Good.
Still got it?
Still honored, yeah.
Good tweets, guys. All right, last night's results was that Celtics-Kings game. Cass and I took the L there. Ooh. That's, Lee, you're 3-1, by the way, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Just wanted to clarify that. Tonight's game, Thunder Blazers, everybody taking the Blazers. Nothing's going to change, at least in terms of our overall standings. There's a reason we do this. Whoever's in last place at the end of the month has to pay it off. And yesterday, Lee Ellis paid it off by having to go full Doubtfire.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah.
Oh.
He enjoyed it too much. Is that the payoff? No.
Except for that part.
Yes. Oh,
No lenses!
yes. The cream
Hurt your
stung
eyes.
his eyes. It was a savage payoff when the cream got in his eyes. All right.
Yes, first basket of the game last night from that Nuggets-Lakers game was a beauty here from Denver. A boomerang ends with a beautiful three-pointer. That's what I call a very solid play.
We also got a wedgie last night.
Oh, they're coming here.
We're coming. Wedgie number 31 on the season, provided by Kelly Oubre. Also, the block on Kelly Oubre by Henry Ellenson.
Wow, like the dunk block, wedgie.
That's
Aggressive
nice.
wedgie.
Very
Oh,
nice.
that's
That's a determined wedgie.
Number 31 on pace for about 42 this season.
okay.
Yep. Yeah.
We'll get another one tonight.
Shout out to Jackie Robinson.
Tomorrow, Friday, we got another Drop podcast. Get your questions in right now. Hashtag the starters or email us thestarters@nba.com. That's it for us tonight. 10 before 10.
Oh,
no! I just got cheaped. How did I get cheaped? We only cheap Lee.
Celtics are on the road.
My goodness. We'll see you guys tomorrow night.
Incredible.
The old leprechaun.
Man, that hurts.